And it's a line drive to
Key lime margarita?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Just watch.
Whoa.
Hi.
Go for it.
Thanks.
What about me?
Got you covered. Hey!
Whoa.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey.
Lefty O'Doul's drink mixes at these fine stores.
What are you doing? I'm getting the girl back.
Live at the Gold Dust Lounge with Will Durst and Willie Brown, I'm Paul Wells, and we have a special guest with a special intro. Here's Raynell Brooks Moon, San Francisco Giants announcer.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting now for Team President and CEO Larry Baer as a guest on the Will and Willie Show from your three-time world champion San Francisco Giants Vice President Russ Stanley.
Wow! Yeah, at bat.
I didn't.
Raynell was very gracious to do that. She's got her mom's home's dinner tonight, or she would be here in person. But she sends her regards.
That was a good second best. Having it in person. She's great.
I once tried out back in the Candlestick Park days to be the Giants' house announcer.
Oh, really?
And then Mario Aliotti is still with the organization.
Still there,
Maybe it wasn't him because I don't want to impugn anybody's reputation.
He's still there.
But he came over to me while I was sitting in the stands after I took my turn. And he said, "Look, don't feel insulted. We're hiring a woman."
That was Sherry Davis.
Yes, was
right?
Sherry, who worked
Davis.
for my lawyer friend Robert Fries, Shardis, and Ginsburg. So you're here because of the Lefty O'Doul's Foundation, which is closely tied to the Giants, and also the baseball gloves that they donate for kids, and the Lefty O'Doul's toy drive, and the fact that we're celebrating. You know, we've kind of like covered some of the heavy topics, and I'm sure we will do in the fourth section
that was
Q&A.
pretty
But
heavy. I'm here to talk about baseball. You know, I didn't. That was pretty.
All
heavy.
right, tell us.
Political.
Yeah,
Sorry about that.
you lost Mike Morris, you lost the Panda.
Yes.
They're gone already,
You
right?
saw we signed Sergio today.
Who'd you sign?
Sergio Romo.
all right, Romo stays.
Well, now wait a minute. I'm not.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
He's not. You're not on board necessarily.
I recall that Sergio lost his job. He lost his job in the season. He started giving up too many runs.
But
he
he
was
really
no
churned it
longer a closer.
around. But
He was no
wasn't
longer
the
a closer.
closer. But he churned it around in September.
As the entire team did.
Yes.
Well, they had to
Eventually.
start to negotiate his new contract.
Well, we thought we were going to lose him to free agency, to having Sergio home, because when we saw the highlights of all three last outs of the winning World Series, Brian Wilson in 2010, Sergio Romo in 2012, and then Panda falling to the floor
that's right.
in 2014. So you see Sergio, and it's good to have him back. And I'm saying, since the Dodgers are paying for him, maybe it's time to talk to Brian Wilson. Put him down. No, listen, put him down in Sacramento, not Fresno. Put him down in Sacramento because that's where the Grizzlies
Debbie Durst
will be
is
this
going,
year.
no.
But look at the irony. The Dodgers will be paying all $10 million of his salary. All we got to do is pay the minimum $500,000. So the Dodgers, we get him to face the Dodgers who let him go. I think it's perfect.
This is why.
I'm the only one.
Brian, yeah, I think
I'm
you
the
might
only
be the
one.
only one in this room. Certainly, it got a boo when that conversation started. But I'll tell you what, Brian Sabian and Bobby Evans, I'm sure they're talking about it among our scouts and see what he's got left. You never. I never
know.
say never.
I know.
I've been surprised before. But,
Somebody.
How many
that would be a
operations?
tough one.
He's had two.
Two Tommy John surgeries.
Is anybody else that you know of still playing baseball with two Tommy John surgeries?
Not that I know of.
Not that I know of either. I follow that.
Remember, Willie, I'm a
process.
ticket guy. I'm not the.
It doesn't matter, but you're like I am. You're
Yeah,
a fan.
yeah, I'm
and
a great fan.
Yeah, you're a fan. And I don't know any two people that have gone through that horror
Yeah, that's a
and
tough one.
still are playing baseball.
Where were you on the Game 7?
I was in Kansas City.
Were you in
I
Kansas?
dealt
Were you
with the
upstairs?
tickets. We had a traveling party of our front office staff and players, families, and wives. We probably had 700 people
Holy
with us.
moly.
We had it was a great crowd. I was sitting on the third base line, kind of left field. with I had my kids with me, and
So you had a
my
good.
parents were there.
What
so
did you
it was-
think when Blanco booted the ball? Because it was kind of
God.
in between. He didn't know whether to dive or
Yeah.
catch it out of bounds.
You're
and
exactly right.
Yeah.
He was playing a little deep and
Yeah.
didn't really. He got caught there.
No doubles, and he ended up
I
with
tell
a
you,
triple.
If the runner had been going full speed, if that was Hunter Pence, he would have scored. Full speed.
If
out
it
of
was
the box.
Lorenzo Kane, he would have
Yeah,
scored. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
That was close. That was.
If it
that
wasn't
makes you
Madison
sweat.
I
Bumgarner
know.
on mound, he wouldn't. Another pitcher might have been totally rattled by that play and not gotten the next out.
Yeah, he was a real competitor.
I mean, that's why he's
Just
Sportsman
wanted
of
the
the
ball
Year,
back.
Sports
Give me
Illustrated.
the ball.
That would have been mythic.
Oh.
They would have talked about it for years. Blanco's blunder.
Yeah.
You already had the BL right there. You know, the BL. So
Let's show off your hardware.
Well, I brought two.
Russ Stanley of the San Francisco Giants. Now, you're a
two of these.
vice president. You've been here for the whole ride here, right?
Yeah, I've been there. This is my 20. I'm starting my 26th season. So I've been there since they
You've
started in
been,
89.
you've been with the,
I have started in
since
1989.
'88.
wow,
89.
89.
So you were there
About the
during
tail end of the
Bob
earthquake.
Lurie, yeah.
Oh yeah, for 4 years under the Lurie Company, and
Wow.
You were there for the earthquake, your first
I
year.
was not there. I started about a week after the earthquake.
It was no fun.
I started out
It
selling
was no
season
fun.
tickets, which after the earthquake, after the World Series, wasn't that hard of a job.
Well, hold up those twins that are about to get a brother or sister.
Can you imagine
we're calling it
being
trophies.
you were selected to sell season tickets right after the earthquake?
At Candlestick.
You got to believe you may not have been the first choice. I mean,
Might not have been the best place to watch a baseball game, Old
I'll
Candlestick
tell you, that was
Park.
a tough park to sell.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you had
No
your season, you had your season tickets then. I mean, you saw what it was like to go through those years. I had 10 rough. I say that I had 10 years on the Rock. And it was tough.
It was as
Selling
cold
those
and windy
games.
out there as it is at Alcatraz.
Yeah,
It is.
maybe colder.
Do you
At
remember
times.
And
those
up in the
hot
sun.
dog wrappers that would
Yeah,
blow
yeah.
around? And little cyclones in the middle of the
Exactly.
field.
Which pitcher got blown completely off the mound once?
Well, he wasn't.
Stu Miller.
He wasn't
Miller.
really blown off. The
But, I mean,
Miller
still,
got-
the wind was just enough to
he had
tip
to
him.
stop. Yeah, he had to stop his
got
motion.
assisted
Yeah.
off the mound.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the Lord who assisted him.
Well, I've got a Croydon
Nice hat.
candlestick. This is old school because people these days don't put pins on. This pin has every championship level we've made since the 80s. And the Barry 71, which I was there for, and a night game, extra innings at Candlestick. This side is this century. That's all our hardware.
Nice hat.
3 World Series, 1 National League Championship, 2 Western Division.
I want to ask Mr. Stanley what it was like in Kansas City after Game 6.
They were very cocky. I tell you, when we came into Game 7, they were ready for a party, and we had a very small, 700
Contingent,
in a,
yeah.
in a group of
60,000.
yeah, it didn't stand out very well, and they came ready to party and have fun, and we put a stop to that quickly. It was great.
Were you there in Pittsburgh when Crawford hit the home run?
I was.
What was it like with the crowd?
That-
Because the crowd was loud and then they weren't.
Yeah, that was the most hostile environment I've ever been in.
Pittsburgh?
And I've been to Raider games.
Wearing your 49er gear, no doubt.
No.
It was.
He doesn't have a death wish.
It was-
That's different.
It was really tough, and that was we had nobody with us then. That was, it was a group of, we probably had 100 in our traveling party at that point. I deal with the tickets, so I'm in that group, and we all sit together, and we stay together and protect each other. That was hostile until that home run was hit. Crawford hit the home run, hit the grand slam, place went silent. And that was it. And they showed the kid. I felt bad. They showed the kids on TV.
I heard that
Yeah,
on TV.
yeah.
Got real quiet
Yeah,
in
it got-
Kansas City.
it was. You could hear a pin drop.
You could hear the barbecue sizzling.
And of course, in the
concession
in the
stand.
interest of your safety, you didn't open your mouth
I
either.
didn't know. I sat and kept quiet, and we got out of there. We got out of there and flew to D.C.
right.
We flew to D.C. that night. And, it was a quick 45-minute ride up and down.
And the 18-inning game, you were there for
Yeah,
that?
I was there.
For the whole thing?
I was there. I sat behind.
You didn't go out for a drink, Capitol Grill or
I
something?
couldn't. I had to wait for the bus because we were flying home. So
Oh,
I was-
that's right.
there was no.
That's right, it was
not
game
that,
2.
Not that anyone would leave, but it was incredible. I was sitting behind a couple who traveled to every Giants road game this year,
Wow.
And, you know, he's a 94-year-old gentleman.
Oh, yeah. We saw the article in the Chronicle, yeah.
Will and Debbie
Great,
Durst
really
are
great
season ticket holders.
Yeah,
They see all these people.
They've been there before I got there, right? They were before '89. You might go back to Seal Stadium, right? Did you go?
I shopped there at the Potreros.
Polo fields, actually, but thanks. Yeah.
Anyway,
I've
I
been
sat
there.
behind this gentleman, and I felt so bad. I kept bringing him coffee and hot chocolate because it was it got really cold
Yeah.
too. It was, but that I mean, when Belt hit that ball, it was just. Yeah, we had some incredible times, and then Ishikawa hitting the home run here. You know, it's nice to finally clinch a series at home, so the fans
Yes.
could see it. We have great fans.
And what a moment that was. I sent you that video that was shot from
Right.
the stands. I'll post it at Will and Willie Facebook page.
Yeah, there was
Good stuff.
for the audience, and you can go to my page, Facebook page, or go to wilders.com.
Yeah, you reposted it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what it is, one guy sitting right in the arcade turned on his little cell phone for
One time.
one pitch during Game 5 of the NLCS, and it was the pitch that Ishikawa, and the ball landed like 3 rows in front of him.
90
So all-
seconds of pure
Yeah.
ecstasy and
Yeah,
joy
and
in
then
the
you could
stands.
actually see the guy
Then you
holding
see-
the ball
Yeah,
up.
and he's going, World Series! World Series!
Yeah.
And then he gave the ball back to Ishikawa, right?
Yeah,
Which
and
was
he became
really-
famous for a week.
Well, that was nice of him to do that.
It was. But that was, and the amazing thing about this run, like the other 2 runs, the Giants, man, get no respect. And I don't know if it's because we're a West Coast team and it's, you know, but we were not favored in 2010 in any series in 2010. We weren't favored in 2012 in any series. Oh, Detroit's going to kick their, you know, Texas is going to kick their, you know, Kansas City's got all
Joe
the momentum. They've won 8 in a
Here
row.
for Fox
We weren't-
Sports.
we
I
weren't-
hate
Yeah.
the Giants, but I won't say that.
Kansas City was 8-0.
Yeah.
They hadn't lost a playoff game when we got
Until
until we got into town.
And then when I was at the Lefties and we had the people from Kansas City and we had a hookup to Kansas City.
That's
at
right.
the
There was
bar
a bar in Kansas City.
And one a grumpy guy in the front was just like looking up at the camera, goes, you know, he just had this, I'm on the air in San Francisco, I'm on TV and say, and then a woman in the next table, we went over I said, look, it's not your fault. You know, somehow you guys wound up with Dodgers uniforms. We have to beat you. And we looked it up as they transitioned from the old light blue and the road whites to the Dodger-looking uniforms. And I said, we have to beat you? And she, well, don't you feel sorry for us? And I said, there's no sorry in baseball. No sorry.
No.
These might disappear, and then we'd have a good story.
I'm faster than I look.
These are heavy hardware. I mean, you know, people can come up at the end of the segment here and check them out. And you also have the National League Championship
I do.
from
I have
2002.
National League champion and 2007 All-Star game.
All-Star game.
Got a nice collection growing here.
Russ Stanley, our guest from the San Francisco Giants in this segment.
Before I go, can I talk? Let me talk
Got a little
about
time.
lefties.
Please do.
Let me
You brought
talk
gloves
about
for the toy
we're doing,
drive
we're
at the
doing, yeah, I brought some
foundation.
gloves from the team.
And
some
bobbleheads.
toys,
We'll
some
give away one.
bobbleheads. We brought the tickets.
The tickets
to
we're
try to do
gonna
a
give
raffle
away.
to raise some money. But the
If
real
no one
goal
wins.
here, you know, I talk to Nick all the time, and I'm on his board at Lefty O'Doul, so I'm not just a Giants
On the foundation.
employee, but I'm also on his foundation
Yeah,
board.
the Bovis family does great things besides opening,
really do.
opening some of the best establishments in town.
Besides keeping people happy,
Not to mention
he
the
keeps
drink
kids
mixes.
happy.
And we'll have you back in 2016, right?
No, next year. Next year, a real dynasty will win 2 in a row.
That's right.
I grew up in the
We need
Bronx.
to go
I
back to-
knew what it was
back-to-back
like.
would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when Mario Alioto will do the back-to-back hats. That's
yeah.
going to be his big one.
Well, I'm going to have to make more room on my
And
hat.
as the playoffs started, put this in proper perspective. Where were we rated as a team as the playoffs started?
Of
Were
the
we
10
9
teams,
or 10?
yeah, probably the 10th team.
Yeah.
You know, you can't beat. There's no way you beat the Pirates.
On the road?
No way we can beat the Nationals. You know, that pitching staff and Matt Williams is going to come back, beat the Giants. Then no way you beat the Cardinals. You know, they've been there so often. You know, we become. The funny thing is, probably my best friends in sports are with the Cardinals now because we've played each other so many times. And then there's no way you beat the Royals.
We have to be like Captain Hook, and we're the croc with the
There you
clock. I mean, every time that in the recent memory that the Cardinals have had to face the Giants in the playoffs, it's been, okay, thank you for playing our little game.
everybody has a nemesis.
Yes.
You know, used to be Cowboys for the Niners, and the Packers always had a nemesis, you know, during their, and so Cardinals and Giants, man. And I could see it happening again this year.
I actually will return
One of them.
your ring.
One of them.
As much as a
Which is
baseball
your
fan I've
favorite?
been since I rode a subway to
fact,
Yankee Stadium.
You don't need two.
Ooh. Yeah. Oh, I like this one.
I wish I could have brought the trophy.
Lee, catch! then
I
get us
would've brought the trophies,
some
but
story
they're on a
about
date
that.
They have a date tonight.
Right, the trophies weren't available, but next time. Let's hear it for Russ Stanley, Vice President. Pinch hitting, what a great job he did. He got a walk, he stole second, and then he got knocked in by Will and Willie. It's the Will and Willie Show live from the Gold Dust Lounge at Fisherman's Wharf.
Thank you for coming.
Happy holidays. Keep listening. We have Will Durst, top 10 news stories of 2014, and a Q&A, and then at the end we'll give away the pair of tickets in the front row to see the Giants play the Dodgers in 2015.
Very good.
Thanks, bud.